This is a mic check. How loud do I have to talk? This is a mic check. Jingle, 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 talk. Okay, regular talking now. Hi there. Okay, being completely honest with you guys, I get really nervous, coming up with a greeting. So we just gonna say hi and move on. I originally was not planning to do this tag until Simone brought it up, and then I was like, I should probably do this tag because I was like, I didn't even have 3 booktube videos at the time. I was like, I have barely any videos out. People don't know me, what I could do this tag for. I didn't even check to see if a whole lot. So as I was saying, 3 people know me. What's there to talk about? But I actually read a lot of books so far this year. My Goodreads would not have it. My story graph would actually have the correct amounts because I do not update Goodreads regularly. So I've read 36 books for the year. That's more than enough to do this. So long-winded introduction aside, welcome to the 2021 mid-year book freakout tag for me permanently. I just realized I never said my username out loud. Alright, so I have the questions right here on my phone. If you can see me sweating, because I am sweating, it's because I'm in jeans. I'm in the Bahamas and it's hot, even though I got AC running. But let's do this. So question number 1, what is the best book you have read in 2021? And I actually had to think about this for a while, but now I know. The Lesson by Cadwell Turnbull. Little known fact, we have a beach in Long Island called Turnbull, and it's like one of the best. So, why is this the best book of 2021? First of all, this was my first dive into anything contemporarily Caribbean, which is a lie, because last year I read, I'd have to walk to get the book. No, actually it's upstairs. Last year I read Inseparable by Dia Morier, I can't pronounce the word, but that was like romance erotica, which isn't like my mainstay. This was dystopian-esque sci-fi. It was really good. So The Lesson is about the US Virgin Islands. I believe that's where the author is from. So aliens land there, and the people have to learn to coexist with them, and they're terribly brutal. And it was so good. And like I said, this is like contemporarily Caribbean, which I'm not used to. Most of the Caribbean books I read have been like classics, old age stuff. So it was nice. I talk and look at my book. Let me get the quote first and then I'll come back. So it was nice to see some phrases in there that I wouldn't expect, like this. The book creaked as she opened it, the white pages flowing by as she thumbed through, making the sound of pigeon wings. And I don't know why that particularly took me by shock. Well, I kind of do, but I don't know why it did. Because usually when we think of birds, I don't know, I thought it would have been doves or some other stuff, but pigeons. We got pigeons over here and seagulls. So I kind of liked this. The story was amazing. There's one part that had me like bowled over with laughter because the people were trying to escape, and this one woman, they talked to this one woman so bad, but I don't blame them because she needed to know her role and take a step back. So yeah, this is the best book I read so far. The writing was so clear and concise, and the construction of the alien life forms themselves, really good. Really good. The exploration of character relationships, really good. So number 2 is the best sequel you've read so far, and my notes are currently holding up my my notes are currently holding up my iPad, so, but I know this on my head. The best sequel I've read so far was The Wicked King by Holly Black. I read The Cruel Prince in January, so I read both of these this year. I actually rounded it off with The Queen of Nothing, which is over there and I'm not getting up to get it. So this was so good because Jude was still doing a bunch of garbage, and so was Carden, but then also they're both plotting and manipulating, and Carden did get that one over Jude in the end, and I'm angry about it. I'm angry about it. I've argued about this because if a man do that to me, I was never gonna forgive him. But I mean, Jude was also doing them. They're toxic. This one's the award. These win the award. I can't put Queen of Nothing because Queen of Nothing, you know, they get a little better. But this wins the award for most toxic couple in fiction I've ever seen. It's so hateful. But Carden and Jude were plotting and maneuvering around each other in this book, and oh, that ended. Oh, I love this. Okay, we're back after an interrupted unseen break. So the third question is a new release you haven't read yet but would like to. For this one I have to pick Mistress Death, Mrs. Death. Yes. I have nothing to show you the cover on. I don't own the fancy editing software that will allow me to put it on the screen. But if I could figure out how, boom, maybe boom, I don't know. It probably ain't happening. So I haven't exactly gotten the gist of what this book is about. So I think Death is, you know, a woman tired of killing. I don't know, but I ordered it from Rebel Women Lit bookstore, so I cannot wait to get it and see what it's about. I kind of like these like morbid, fascinating stories. But other than that, there's a Kweke Emezi's memoir that dropped in June, and last summer I had a complete and total feast with their work. It started with the death of Vivek OG. This was like my first or second book of the month pick, and I was blown away by this entire story, like crying, emotional. It just hit. And then I read Pet, absolute tears, but also a bit of horror because Pet scared me. Whoo. And then after Pet, I immediately jumped into Fresh Water, and it was so intense. I like gobbled it up, and some parts I didn't understand, But my lack of understanding did not mean they hit any less. I need to reread Freshwater. But they're just a brilliant author, and I can't wait. But other than that, I don't really keep up with new releases. I read backlists mainly because that's what I could get my hands on. And then, yeah, I could order new releases offline and blah, blah, blah. But to bring in a book here, the shipping company I use, $9 minimum fee. So I have to pay $10 on top of the book price. And then we got VAT. VAT is not of the people. It's not. Number 4. Most anticipated release of the second half of the year. I just told y'all I don't keep up with these things. But because I read the lesson, I went to look up Cadwell Turnbull's other stuff, and he has a book coming out in September, No Gods, No Monsters. I haven't looked at the plot. I don't care. I want it. That's about it though. I don't know anything else, but I need it. 5. Biggest disappointment. I'm sure I had 2 written in my notes for this. Oh, I know what it is. War of the Worlds by I Don't Care. Oh, I think it's H.G. Wells. I could be wrong. I really could not care less. Classics continue to disappoint me. I continue to keep reading them, and I continue to be disappointed. But I keep reading them in the hopes that maybe I'll find something I like, and I don't. I never do. It's not happening. Next, Introducing Feminism, a graphic guide. A recent disappointment. More of an aggravation than a disappointment, but it's my fault. The book literally said, we're focusing on the UK and America, and let's talk about feminism. And I was like, okay, I could live with that. I just want to, learn some things. And then I came across the line. I was like, we think the new wave of feminism started here and here. And I was like, first of all, think. And then second of all, I got mad about the centering of America and Britain, because there was feminism a bunch of other places. I have no doubt. I'm not a history buff. I don't know nothing about anything. But I do know. Don't say we think. And don't say things started with them 2 world powers, because there were probably feminism elsewhere. That was my fault though. They did warn me, and what did I do? I didn't listen. And I have no one to blame but myself. Moving on. Biggest surprise of the year. This. I hate myself for this. I went up in a grocery store. Oh, Jesus. I went up in a bookstore. I've never had any inclination to read Sarah J. Maas ever in my life. I always see Throne of Glass, the big long series with the people on it. People on covers, I don't mess with. I don't mess with people on covers. But I walked up in the little bookstore, and I see these. First of all, the colors. The colors are so bright and beautiful. And then I looked at this, and it was so intriguing. And I came home, and I went on Instagram, and I was like, is it bad enough that I just want to buy some books that I have no interest in reading just because the covers are pretty? And I have bad influences on Instagram, so I got a bunch of it's okay, blah blah blah. So I went out the next morning. I bought these 2. And then I was going back home on vacation. So I packed up these two because they're big books. They're big books. They are big books. I packed them up. Pulled this out day one. Started it. Finished it 2 days later. Pulled this out. Started it. Finished it 2 days later. There was only one copy of these left into the bookstore. I was on vacation. I actually was worried that it wouldn't be there when I got back. This series has taken over my life. I am going to order a quarter Silver Flames paperback. But I just can't believe it. I really had no interest in reading it. I only started this because I was bored. And it completely took me over. I can't believe how much I enjoyed this series, and I am trash. I still don't have any desire to read A Throne of Glass. I don't even know what that series is named. I have no interest in reading that. I have no interest in reading any of our other books. But Akata has... She put a foot in this. She really did. Oh, Simone's live sprint is in 30 minutes. I need to hurry. Favorite new author? I don't have the book here because I read it on my Kindle, which is upstairs. Talia Hibbert, the author of The Brown Sisters. I usually don't call someone a favorite unless I like, you know, multiple of their books across different things. Because I ate this up, but I'm not going to say Sarah J. Maas is one of my favorite authors. I have no interest in reading any of other things. But Hibbert, she smacked that Brown series right up. Chloe was a hit. Johnny was a hit. Eve was a slam dunk, home run, etc. So, and I am very much interested in, you know, going and exploring more of her work. So I'm going to call her a favorite author. Anne Cadwell. Not Holly, because I don't really have like a fire to go read her new stuff. But Hibbert and Turnbull, they got me. They got me. 8, newest fictional crush. Everybody from the Brown Sisters trilogy, but especially Red, because he's the OG, you know. He made appearances in Donnie, which like killed me. When he bust up in that room, I was like, we could really need a plan if we need this man. I almost lost it. And then his appearance in Eve just solidified that he took the best boy spot, because Jacob was almost there. Jacob was almost there with his straightforwardness, you know, funny guy. Whoo. But Red just, he was there from the beginning. He was there to the end. Boom. Redford. Newest favorite character. I had to think long and hard on this, because I was like, who would I really call my favorite character? Because Feyre, annoying. Nesta, like, we ain't supposed to be hating on women, but who? The boys from this series, I love them, but like newest favorite character, no. So I really had to think about it, right? And the answer I came up with was Jude. Jude aggravates my soul, but she wasn't annoying like Feyre was. Everything Feyre was doing was, oh my god, my hat's broken, I can paint it into 1,000 paintings. No. Jude was like, I weak. I need to do what I gotta do. I hate Corden. but I want juice them up at the same time. I hate my stepdaddy, but I love him because he taught me everything I know. She was a mess. Jude was a mess. The whole series, girl, was a mess. But you gotta appreciate the gumption, the work. You have to. I made myself mad now. But Jude is now a favorite character. Like Jude was doing things. I never agreed with her. I was rowing her. But child sis she was out here doing it. She was out here doing it. What a sick. A book that made me cry. I wasn't crying. I might have written something down, but the fact that I can't remember it means that I wasn't crying about it. Crying. Let me check my story graph. I didn't remember it because I don't have it here. They both die at the end. Tears. Snotty, flicking tears, crying alone at night. Oh my god. Oh my god. That book. Like, I was crying from the beginning, but when Mateo went to make that cup of tea, and then when Lord Rufus, yeah, that was sad. We don't need to talk about that. I'm not getting emotional on camera. That's the no. A book that made me happy. The Brown Sisters. Like that was such an enjoyable read. I read that whole series in a week. It was so funny and happy, and I didn't even mind the miscommunication trope because it was solved like 3 pages later. So I was like, oh, go. It was so enjoyable. I was so happy that they were happy. You know what I mean? That was so fun. Go read that. And I wasn't even supposed to read it. I had them on my Kindle because I caught them on a sale, but they were like $1.99. But I'm not a big romance, especially romance with like hoo-ha in it. That really ain't my thing. But so good. Read them. Question number 12. The most beautiful books you bought or received this year. You might have thought I would have say these since I bought these exactly for the cover. You might have, but I got you one better. The Nanny graphic comics that are published by Kugali Media. These are gorgeous, from the covers to the insides, especially in volume 2. Some of these 2-page spreads are absolutely gorgeous. Look at this. The colors. These are beautiful. I'd highly recommend them. The story is also really heartfelt and heartwarming and touching, and like look, it's literally gorgeous. These are the most beautiful books I've bought in this year. There's no comparison. Akata can take a seat. 13, final question. What books do you need to read by the end of the year? Okay, so the novella for the Cruel Prince series, How the King of Elfheim Learned to Hate Stories, something like that. So I can round off this series and finally call it done. A Court of Silver Flames. Nesta is not my favorite. I apologize for hating on women, because we should not do that, but she's infuriating. But Cassian, I hope everything works out for him. So I need to finish that. It's not too high up on my list because it's Nesta and Cassian. I don't know what the main conflict just gonna be their relationship, because I need a bigger, wider conflict. Like, things got down and dirty in this book. Things got downer and dirtier in this book. Things exploded in this book. And in this book, depression and PTSD was abound. So there's probably gonna be some, you know, work on Nesta's side. I hope I do like her in the end, but she carrying on a little too bad right now. The Dark Tower series by Stephen King. I am currently on a mission to read this whole series this year, and it's a 6-month. I'm on book 3. I'm not making a good time. I'm not making good time at all. I expected to read a book a month, and I did. I think I read the, it's all right here, sorry. I think I read The Gunslinger in January. I think I read The Drawn in 3 in March. I mean February. Maybe I finished it off in March, and I started this in March. I'm pretty sure I started this in March, and I am 352 pages in. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I have 5 more books to go. I have 6 more months in the year. If I read about a book a month, I can finish it. Do I think I can read a book a month? I really don't know. I really don't know. I was supposed to be done finish this, but all I read so far for June was the Wicked King and the Queen of Nothing. So, boop. Also, in the span of finishing series, I recently bought and reread the Emily Winsnop series, which I had as a kid. The first 3 books, I still like them, but you know, nostalgia. I honestly feel like after the 4th book, or whatever book where they come back to Brightport, I feel like we could have ended it there, because now it just seems episodic and serialized. But I want to finish it. It's nice. It's fun. It's mermaids. So that's the end of the tag. That's what we got going on right now. Everything is cool. It's been a good half a reading year. I could have never read this much books in 6 months before, because school beat my butt super hard, super duper hard. So I wasn't reading at all. But yeah, thank you for listening. Feel free to answer these questions, all of them, one of them, some of them, in the comments. Let me know if any of the books are on your radar, you've read them, you plan to read them, you have no interest in reading them at all. And I guess, as the YouTubers do, like and subscribe. I already told you all to comment. And check out some of my other videos. There's not that much, but you might like them. Bye. Oh, I said bye. But here are all the physical books that I mentioned in this video. So now it's bye. See ya. Here is all the physical books I mentioned in this video. Now we could say bye. Bye. Oh my lord, it's hot and I got the AC on.